Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time Slash. And I'm really happy to finally have this figure because this guy was announced like 2 years ago or something, and I think NECA's doing such an incredible job with the Ninja Turtle stuff. It's always very exciting when they give us a new character, so I'm really pumped up about this figure. But let's go ahead and get into it, starting with the packaging. First off, we have this bizarre ass Ninja Turtle artwork on the border here and on the side of the box itself. And as you can see, the turtles look real crazy. They have big heads and small bodies, and I don't personally remember, but I imagine that this is the exact same type of artwork that was on the arcade cabinet back in the day. If someone could verify that, let me know in the comments if that's what these guys look like on that. Otherwise, I don't know why they would use this crazy artwork. It has to be because it was accurate to the the arcade cabinets. NECA's all about the details, so I'm sure that's the case, but it does look crazy. I know people are clowning on it, but I'm sure it was intentional by NECA to have this crazy artwork on here. It's not like poorly done artwork or anything, but I think it looks cool and it makes me laugh, so I like it. And it says Ninja Turtles right here, Turtles in Time down here, Slash, all that good stuff. On the side, like I said, we get a look at the turtles and some other crazy artwork. On the back, we get a look at the figure itself, and then we also get a look at the other figures that came out at the same time as Slash here. So we have Leo from the video game, Donnie from the video game, and Foot Soldier from the video game. So that all looks really nice, and I do plan on picking up those turtles because I did not get the Comic-Con set that featured the pixelated turtles, so I'm really excited to get those guys. Plus they have like hoverboards, so that's dope. But the figure looks really nice in here. You're able to see him, and you can see the few accessories that he comes with. The packaging is collector friendly. You can remove the figure and put him back if you like, and that's about it for the box. So let's go ahead and rip this figure out and take a look. And bam, there we have Slash right out of the box, and I'm really loving this figure. Even though there's not a lot of surprises as far as the body goes, because he does share a lot of parts with the previously released Ninja Turtles from NECA. So if you have any of these, there's not going to be a lot of surprises, but they did put a lot of little things on there to make it feel different. It doesn't feel like I'm just buying a repaint of something else. He's got the claws. He's got like the belt with the different things going on. He has these little spikes sticking out of his knee pads, and he's just got a lot of cool stuff going on. Then he has this crazy shell with all these spikes and everything, and he feels different enough from the previous Ninja Turtles, even though he does share a lot of parts with them. This guy's really fun. I'm really surprised by how easy he is to manipulate. These previous turtles were really hard to mess around with. I couldn't get them in the best poses. I love these figures a lot. They're some of my favorite Ninja Turtle figures, but they aren't the easiest to pose. This guy is really easy to pose. Right out of the box, his joints were really tight, so I did have to soak him in hot water. But once I did that, he was very easy to mess around with, and since then, I've had a lot of fun with this guy, so I'm really digging it. But let's go ahead and get in close and take a look at the details on this figure. So much like a lot of the other NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures that are inspired by the video games, Slash does have that pixelated paint style, as you could see here on the chest. And I always think this is really cool, especially when it's done well. Things like this and like cell shading and all those kind of things are always really cool when they work, And in this case, it works out very well. NECA always does a good job of these types of gimmicks. A lot of their figures that they do, they often have like video game versions of them, and all they do is like this really unique paint job, and it really sells the whole 16-bit feel of those old video games. So I think this is really cool. And as you can see here on the arms, you have like the pixelated style going on. On the shell, you have a little bit more of it, and it looks really good. They always do a good job with it. Check it out here, more on the arms. On the legs, it gets pretty heavy with that pixelated style, so that's dope. And even though I like this a lot, I am looking forward to the more just traditional looking Slash. I know it's like a different design based on the animated series, but I look forward to getting that. But I am really digging this whole video game style, so that's cool. But let's go ahead and take a look. Starting at the head, I really love this head sculpt. He definitely looks like a demented Ninja Turtle, and he just looks like he's a psycho, so that is really cool. I love the color of his mask, and I like how it doesn't really match the colors of any of the other Turtles masks, like it's kind of blue, but it's not like Leonardo's blue, so that's dope. And then you have like the purple wraps on the arms that look nice. His hands have like these purple fingerless gloves. There's a little bit of a paint imperfection right there, but it's no big deal. And then he has these claws that are pretty soft plastic. They don't feel like they're going to break or anything like that, so that's good. Then you have the spike on the knee, which is very soft plastic. You don't have to worry about that breaking. I like how he has like fingernails that are different from the other turtles, so that's dope. Same thing here on the toes. I do wish that his toes had a little bit of paint on them just to make them look different from the rest of the foot. But, you know, it's not a big deal or anything. And moving on to the belt here. The belt looks cool, and then he has like the thing hanging down from here. The paint looks pretty good, but you can see there's a little bit of gray on the purple sash thing or whatever you want to call it. So that could have been a little bit cleaner, but the rest of the belt looks really good. You've got all kinds of good stuff going on. And he doesn't come with very many accessories, so we're going to look at them here too. He does come with this little grenade, and you are able to kind of stick it into his belt. Let's see here. How did I do it before? There we go. You could stick the grenade into the belt, and the grenade has that same cell or that same like pixelated paint style to it too. And then he does have this really cool jagged sword, which has a very minimalistic, simple paint job to it, but it looks awesome, and he has no trouble holding it at all. So that's good stuff there. And yeah, I love the way this figure looks, and he's a lot of fun to play with too, so that's good. And yeah, just check him out. Check out that face sculpt. That is really, really cool. And then take a look here at the shell. This looks great too. You got some spikes coming out of the back of the shell that look nice. They're kind of soft plastic too. I don't think you'll hurt yourself messing with this figure at all. We have some more stuff on the back of the belt. Definitely has like a utility belt thing going on, so that's cool. But the shell looks nice, the face sculpt looks nice, the body looks nice. So I'm really happy with the paint job and the sculpt and design of this whole figure. And now for some quick size comparisons. We have Slash alongside the NECA animated series version of Raphael and the SH Figure Arts Donatello. And if you have those NECA Ninja Turtles, then you should pretty much know how Slash is going to measure up to other figures in your collection, because he shares a lot of body parts with those figures and he's pretty much the same size. And then next up, we have Slash alongside the NECA animated series version of Shredder and a Foot Soldier. And then here we have him alongside the NECA Bebop and Rocksteady. Here's Slash alongside the DC Collectibles Leonardo and the NECA movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Donatello. And then here we have him alongside the Hasbro Lightning Collection Lord Zed and Red Ranger. Here he is alongside the Marvel Legends Ultimate Spider-Man and the Black Series Boba Fett. And then next we have Slash alongside the Earthrise Optimus Prime and the Thousand Toys Hellboy. And then last but not least, we have Slash alongside the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man and Marvel Legends Bucky Cap. And as far as the articulation goes, if you're already collecting the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, then you know exactly what to expect from this guy. But I will say that he has one thing that's a little different from the rest of the turtles. So let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll show you exactly what that is. So at the head, he is able to move his head side to side. He does have a pretty nice tilt to it, and it could look up a really nice amount, and it could look down a really nice amount. And that's where the difference is between this figure and the other turtles, because he has movement where the upper neck meets the head and where the lower neck meets the torso. But where the lower neck meets the torso, he actually has a hinge. So you get some really nice up and down movement from his head. So that is really cool. And I did not see that on the other turtles. I thought maybe it's just something that I kind of had to break loose or something, but I definitely do not see a hinge in there. You could still get their heads down a pretty good amount, but it doesn't go down as much as Slash. As you could see, that hinge really helps the neck move a really nice amount. So that's dope. That's cool that they had something different in this figure than the rest of the figures. Maybe that's just something that they discovered was a little bit better as time went on, because these turtles originally came out like, what, 3 years ago or something? It's been a while since these guys came out at Comic-Con. You know, so maybe they found some things that are better, and I'm glad to see that they implemented that into Slash. So that's dope. And aside from the head and neck movement, his torso does have a cut, but it's under the turtle shell and the belly or chest piece, I guess you could say. But there is some type of like movement, and once again, I feel like it gets a little bit more movement than the previous turtles. So as you could see there, there's like a twist, and let's see if we could show off the movement of that little torso joint. Yeah, you can see the torso joint has a little bit of side to side to it. It's got a little bit of twist. Can't really bend. And, you know, I think that's pretty obvious because of the turtle's design. But still, there's some movement in there. And it makes it so the figure doesn't feel so stiff or anything. So I like that. That's pretty good. And then he does have ball jointed shoulders. Let's see if we can get them to go all the way around. Yep, they go all the way around. Even though he has this little, like, this little armor piece, I guess you could call it, on his shoulder. Aside from the ball jointed shoulders, he does have upper bicep swivel. And then for the elbows, he has a single jointed elbow, which gets, you know, pretty much 90. And then he has a swivel at the wrist and a hinge at the wrist. And then for the legs, let's see what we have going on. NECA legs always make me nervous. But his legs do come out to the side a really good amount. Can he do the splits? Maybe, but this leg's not. Oh, here we go. Oh, be careful. There we go. So he can do the splits. And his feet don't rock enough to get his feet flat on the ground like this. But anyways, oh man, gotta be careful with those NECA hips. He can bring his leg forward a really nice amount, even though he does have that chest piece that should block it. You could get him to sit down pretty much if you'd like. So that's good. And they do go back to about right there. Then he has the upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee. He does have a swivel at the foot, and it looks like it's like on a little ball joint. So you have a little bit of rocking action, but not too much. Let's see. See how wide we could get him to stand with his feet. Probably not going to get, yeah, I mean, there's not enough rocking in the ankles to get his feet flat if you have his legs spread like that. But still, you know, I would say there's really good articulation on this guy. And as I mentioned before, for whatever reason, he's a lot more posable than the previous Ninja Turtles, even though he only really has one addition in terms of articulation, and that would be that neck piece. Everything else is exactly the same, but still, he just feels more posable, and I was able to get him into better poses. Okay, guys, so overall, I'm really happy with this figure, and I'm very happy with what NECA's doing with Ninja Turtles in general. I think with every single release, they just continue to like blow us away with these awesome Ninja Turtle figures, and Slash is no exception. I'm really, really happy with this dude. He's a lot of fun to mess around with. I do wish that he came with a few more accessories. I think some extra hands would have been great for this guy, and I do wish that the articulation was slightly better, especially in the ankles and in the elbows. But aside from those minor flaws, I'm very, very happy with this guy, and I've had a lot of fun just messing around with it. To be honest with you, I've had more fun handling this figure than I did with the regular Ninja Turtles. Even though I love those figures, they were pretty stiff, and the articulation just didn't seem to work as good as it does with Slash. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I said maybe they just found some improvements that could be made and they put him into Slash, and I'm curious to see if the Turtles in Time Ninja Turtles that came out at the same time as Slash, if those figures are improved as well, just in terms of how you're able to handle them and how well they articulate. So I'm gonna have to pick those guys up to check that out. I was gonna pick them up anyways because I need the video game versions of the Turtles. But yeah, man, I'm really happy with this guy, and I just love what NECA's doing with the Turtle stuff, and I hope that they keep it going for a long time. And I really hope that they start to dig in deep into the old school, like, animated Ninja Turtle stuff. I would love to get some of the bizarre characters that they had back in the day. We're already getting, like, the big dogs. Splinter, April O'Neil, and Casey Jones are all on the way. But aside from those figures, I would really like to see the Rat King. I always got a kick out of that character. He was kind of goofy, and I'm sure an action figure from NECA of him would be amazing. What's a character that you guys would like to see from NECA from the old animated show? There's so many bizarre characters, they could go crazy with it. So I really hope that they do that. It seems like they are. It seems like they're all in. This year at Toy Fair, they had an amazing turtle display. So I'm very excited with what NECA has going on as far as the Turtles are concerned. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And just so you guys know, my goal for 2020 is to reach 50,000 subscribers. I know that's like a huge hill to climb, but you know, I want to set the bar high and just try to reach for that. I feel like it's possible. Last year at the beginning of the year, I had like 8,000 subscribers, and by the end of the year, I had like 22,000. So my numbers like more than doubled. So I'm hoping that this year they can more than double again and I could reach 50,000. I think mathematically it's possible, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, just make sure to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Peace.